Hello and welcome to our channel where we explore the world of Odoo. Today we're going to dive into adding more functionality to our cheat module. If you haven't created the cheat module yet, please watch my previous video first for a quick guide on getting started. One of the most common tasks when creating modules for Odoo is displaying messages or notifications to users. In this video we're going to add 5 of the most common methods to achieve this. Without further ado, let's begin. The first method involves embedding a message on a view but only showing it when a specific condition is met. This technique is often used when the message is tied to a state of a model instance. For example, reminding users about due dates for invoices. To implement this method, we set the invisible attribute of a container element containing the message. The key here is adding the invisible attribute, which allows us to make it visible or hide it as needed. We use a Python expression that evaluates to a Boolean value to determine its visibility. In this case, we're using the Boolean underscore field from our model cheat.basic. The second method involves using sticky notifications. With sticky notifications, we can display messages in a non-intrusive way without requiring users to take immediate action. For instance, the Discuss app uses sticky notifications when there are new messages for the user. Let's create a button that triggers this message. To do so, simply copy and paste the Generate Random String button from the previous code and modify it as shown. Change the string, icon, and name attribute. The value of the name attribute specifies which method to execute from the corresponding model. In this case, our cheat.basic model. To display a sticky notification, the method needs to return a dictionary with client action as the value for the type key and display notification as the value for the tag key. You can customize the notification further by specifying the value of the perms key. The third method involves using the confirm attribute of a button. This technique comes in handy when you need to obtain confirmation from users before executing a process. Create another button to trigger the confirmation message and add the confirm attribute with a message as its value. That's it, the simplest way to ask users for confirmation in Odoo. The fourth method involves raising user exceptions. Unlike other exceptions, user exceptions are handled by Odoo using a built-in mechanism that prevents stack traces from being displayed. Create another button to trigger this exception and raise a user exception within your corresponding method to display the message. Finally, the last method involves displaying a view in a dialog box. While this technique is primarily used for interacting with users through input fields, it also can be used to show messages. Wizards are made with this method. A key difference between regular model views and wizards is that wizards are based on transient model rather than the standard model. Let's start by creating a view template first. Then create another button and have its corresponding method return a dictionary with window action as the value for the type key. The view ID key tells Odoo which view to be showed. To specify how Odoo should open the view, use the target key and set it to new. This will ensure that the view is displayed inside a dialog box. The view mode and rest model keys might seem redundant since they're already specified in your view template. However, these are required to prevent Odoo from complaining about them. The res ID key determines which record should be loaded when the dialog opens. If it's omitted, a new record will be created every time you open the dialog. And since we created a new view for a model that already has a view before, we need to set the value for field view IDs of every action window that opens the model view. In our case, we need to modify the action window for the menu which opens the cheat.basics views. To create a wizard, create a new directory named wizard and include 3 files. An init file, a model file, and a view file. The codes are similar with when we create regular models and views, but instead of inheriting class model, a wizard inherits class transient model. One important thing to remember about transient model is that its data are temporary. Don't forget to add these files to your module's init file and the manifest file. Lastly, we need to add security access record for the wizard. Now let's try it. That concludes today's video. We'll explore more techniques and tools for Odoo development in our next tutorial. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel so you can stay up to date on my experiments and tutorials.